I really don't want to get rid of this motorbike, even for a bigger bike. Now, I know that I'm normally talking about how cold it is, but this morning was different. You see, I'm normally out at 9 o'clock Saturday mornings, and yeah, it's been 3 degrees or thereabouts. But this morning, at 9 o'clock, it was 0 degrees. And of course, at 0 degrees, we're talking ice territory. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to go out at 9 o'clock. I was able to stay in until about 1 o'clock, when it had warmed up to 4 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, something like that. Warm enough for the ice and the frost to have disappeared anyway. So here we are back on the 125, and I tell you, last week riding those 600s, albeit didn't ride them for very long, just round the car park a few times, but it really has got me thinking about bigger bikes. You see, I always knew at some point I would do my test, and then I'd have the option of getting a bigger bike. I was always going to struggle to sell this bike, but then once I've done my test, I've got 3 options, haven't I? I can either keep this bike and ride it, I can upgrade to something else and ride that, or I can do both, keep this and buy something else. See, I've watched some YouTubers. I watch one at the minute actually, and he's got about 5 bikes. But yes, I am definitely thinking about what bike would I want. Now, I am a sports bike guy. Anyone who's watched my channel knows that I am a sports bike guy. So, on the subject of sports bikes then, bikes bigger than this, what's caught my attention? Well, I'll tell you something that did catch my attention, and this was way back. This was right after I'd done my CBT and I was buying my helmet. I was up at Bridge in Exeter, and I'm buying my helmet, and in the showroom they've got an R3. Yes, it's another Yamaha. That's the first on my list. Am I going to get this bike? I don't know, but it did catch my attention. And technically I guess it's an A2 bike, because it's 321cc, puts out something like 42 horsepower. So it's not a particularly powerful bike, certainly more powerful than what I'm on now, and it's absolutely gorgeous, especially in the classic Yamaha blue. It really did catch my attention. Only question is, I mean, I'd be proud to own that bike simply because of how good it looks. But the real question is, would it be enough? Once you've gone out and you've done your test on a 600, 650, 700, whatever it is, would a 321cc bike be enough? And you know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe I need to look bigger. And on the subject of bigger, something else that caught my eye: Honda's CBR 500R. Now, beautiful bike, absolutely gorgeous. I used to own a Toyota MR2 Mark 1, absolutely beautiful car. It was automotive origami of the four-wheeled variety. Now, Honda's CBR 500R is automotive origami of the two-wheeled variety. I'm not a fan of the big exhaust up the side, but as a bike, it's absolutely beautiful, and in the red that you get. From a looks point of view, amazing. I don't know how powerful that one is. It's a 500, but yeah, that one. There's someone near me that rides one. I've never managed to speak to the guy or girl, but it kept catching my attention and I didn't know what it was. So had to do a bit of research and find out what is this gorgeous red bike I keep seeing. Honda's 500 CBR 500R. And staying with Honda and absolutely beautiful motorbikes, one of my favourites that's really caught my attention is Honda's CBR 600RR, especially if you can get it in the special edition blue, white and black. I mean, they do it in other colours as well and it looks really nice. They made this bike from 2003 to 2009 and I am very particular about my motorbikes. I really like the 2007 to 2009 model. Not that I'm saying I wouldn't own one of the others, because I would. I definitely would own an earlier CBR 600RR, but it's the 07, 08, 09s that I think look the best. And that special edition one is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, the blue wheels definitely help. And of course, one of the reasons why I love it, and not everyone will agree here, but then bikes are so personal that what one person likes, the other person won't. But one thing I really like about the CBR 600RR is the undertail exhaust. And speaking of undertail exhausts, another bike that caught my attention, I saw one of these at the BMAD Bike Festival a few years back, is the Triumph Daytona 675. Bloody beautiful. I saw a red one and they are really nice in red. There's something about it, there's just something about that bike. And yes, undertail exhaust again, absolutely. Wonder if that burger place is open. Yes, the Triumph Daytona 675, beautiful bike. The red ones are amazing. The blue and white ones, there's a few different models you can get in the blue and white, and they are next level beautiful. Need to get this indicator off. Yes, they are next level beautiful. And I'll tell you what else is next level beautiful. Take a look at this Yamaha R6 that I'm going to put on the screen. Now, I was never a big fan of the R6. I don't think for any particular reason. I just never seen one that I particularly liked. You know, nothing wrong with them, it just hadn't really caught my attention. But this R6 that I saw the other day, red and white wheels, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my bike and I held out for this colour scheme, as some of you will know, and yeah, it took a few extra months to get exactly what I wanted, and I don't regret it. But this Yamaha R6, I think it was around about 2007, in red and white, it really has changed my opinions of the R6, and I could definitely see myself with one of those. But it's just that one model. Like, I've looked at all the other R6s and they're all gorgeous bikes. A lot of them have the big exhaust up the side, which I'm not a fan of. And so, because I'm not a fan of that, I don't really see any that I would like to own, except for that one particular model. Beautiful. To my viewers, you're probably thinking, oh, he's just going to open that and eat it. What you can't see is that in order to carry everything, I've actually put my helmet back on. So now I can't eat this. It's like I'm teasing myself with my own food. where I wish I had a open face helmet. Problem solved. Hey, and I'm going to eat this bacon roll, and I don't want to see any arguments in the chat, people telling me it's not a bacon roll, because if you live in this country you'll know these come by many different names: rolls, baps, cobs, or even a batch. Call it what you will. Well, that food was spot on, it really was. I've never actually been to that burger place before, that burger stand, and I call it a burger stand, and then I went and had a bacon roll, bap, batch, cob, whatever. So, the wild card. Let's talk about the wild card in a minute. You see, I'm here, of course, thinking to myself, could I really get rid of him? I really don't want to. I really don't want to get rid of this motorbike. But, like I said last week, if you only do what you already know, you will never grow as a person, and same is true of bikes. I'm ready to move up to another bike, to my next level of biking. Only real question is, am I keeping this bike and having two? Or am I actually selling this bike and upgrading for another one? Time will tell. Let's talk about that wild card. Okay, so the wild card then. A bike that's caught my attention recently, the Triumph Triple. And there are lots of them, lots of different ones. Now I'm going to put one on the screen right now. That's the one that's caught my attention. Now I do like pretty much every Triumph Triple that I've seen, but the one on screen I believe is a Triumph Street Triple. And it's looks like an older one, not particularly old, probably like a 2010 or something. Doesn't look particularly old. It's got the round headlamps, and I didn't think I'd like chrome on motorbikes, but I recently found out actually I do like chrome on motorbikes. I also love motorbikes that are a colour. I've seen plenty of black motorbikes and they do all look good. I mean, I tend to dress in black, which is probably why I want a colour on my bike. Otherwise I wouldn't be seen. But no, this one's black. I like coloured wheels, but I don't particularly like gold wheels, and this one's got gold wheels. There's a lot about this bike that I potentially shouldn't like, but I do. I think it all comes together. It all comes together beautifully. Just remember that there's roadworks down here, so we're going to hook a left. Yeah, something about this Triumph Street Triple, it just works. Everything about it works. The black, the chrome, those headlights. You can get them with bug-eye headlights, which are okay, but I definitely prefer the round ones. Gold wheels, you know, it all just looks absolutely beautiful. Now who knows, I may never own any of these bikes that I've been talking about today. I could still stay on my 125 and not get a bigger bike, or I could keep my 125 and get a bigger bike. That would be nice, but who knows what I might own next. Any suggestions? Gratefully received. But we will see. It could be, it'll be several months probably. It could even be the summer before I get out and get a bigger bike. Who knows? All I do know is that I'm really looking forward to this next chapter of my biking life.